I think on this specific segment that we're talking about with colon cancer and awareness and just dealing with death in general, um, though the person I did lose the closest to was my grandpa.
Yeah.
He was 75 when he left us, but you know, the guy was just full of life. Like he reminded me when I saw those videos of you and your mom, he kind of reminded me of me and my grandpa because my grandpa so full of life, charming, you know,
Yeah.
just very always full of life and energy. And I remember that when he passed the summer when I took the bar exam. So
Hmm.
right after I graduated, and he kind of just passed away. And the way that he passed away was just like, you know, I don't want to go into detail, but you know, by himself and just not the way he was as a person.
Yeah.
And I remember going that summer and thinking to myself, like, wow, how am I gonna get through this? And I remember, I don't know, when you talk, you know, when you're talking to yourself a little bit, sometimes I'm like, there's no way he stayed here for my graduation. Because he was supposed to leave a couple months before, but I had told him that I was graduating that spring, and he said from law school, and he's like, oh well, I'm definitely gonna stay. There's
Yeah.
no way that he stayed. You know what had happened to him, he transitioned, and he would have wanted me to not take the bar exam or fail it
Yeah.
because of him, right? Or because of the memory.
Yeah.
So I just went harder, man, that summer, and I blew past that exam. It felt easy to me that day. It felt like I put up 3,000 shots in the
Wait, so
gym.
this was so wait, he made it to your graduation.
2017 in
Okay,
May.
and then
Passed away like literally 2 weeks later.
okay, oh yeah, so that was that energy to you got to pass
Yeah,
it.
I gotta
You know,
pass
you're doing
this,
it,
man, no
yeah.
matter what. So everything that I do it with him in my memory, and try to be like, you know, I'm not necessarily the most smiley person, but he definitely was, man. He was always cracking jokes, and I made sure to line up because life is short.
It
He's
is.
75, I'm 33. That means I got 40 summers left,
Yeah,
right? When you put it like that, it ain't that
for real.
much, man.
And 75 is young.
Young,
It's
you know
not
what's the
even.
worst part, man? Like the guy, I swear to God, you and him are the same person. You guys would have had a great time together. He ate what he wanted. He smoked cigarettes. Obviously, he's been smoking cigarettes his entire life, so that's what really did him over. But you know, when the doctor, in typical grandpa fashion, you know, shout out to him, may you know, rest in power. The doctor told him, "Hey, you'll add like an additional 1, 2, 3 years to your life if you stop smoking." He said, "F that. I'm gonna go out doing what I want to do." Right? I was like, so you know, he kind of lived life, you know, by his own drum. And
Yeah.
I've been kind of doing that over the last several years, just kind of like developing my own beat, not really paying attention to what other people were telling me. Cause I'll be the one to admit to you, I was prisoner to other people's opinions of me.
Yeah.
And their expectations of me. Now I'm kind of like slowly but surely shedding that. I'm not fully at the point where I just don't give an F anymore, right? I'm not there yet because obviously that takes time to make those transitions and developments. But I think that sometimes a tragedy, and this is where I'm trying to come back, can sometimes bring a transition in your own life towards something else and introduce you to another door that you may have not known was there. And what he did for me was kind of what that situation did to me was kind of make me realize that life is short and you got to do whatever the hell makes you happy.
You do.
Right? Because
You do.
I can't live out somebody else's dreams, right? At the end of the day, we're employees, right? We're making somebody else rich. I mean, we're getting paid nice for it, but I appreciate what I'm doing here
Yeah.
because this is ours.
Exactly.
We're building this, and I would want to do, you know, Evelyn or Roberto, which is my grandfather, their justice in their name by going as hard as we possibly can doing this.
Yeah.
Right.
So for me, when I think of death now, it kind of puts an urgency to me, like where even sometimes it's like, and death could happen at any time, you know? So it's kind of like, I don't like putting things on hold as much. Like if I could do something now today,
Yeah.
I'm like, let me do it, you know?
What better time than the present, right?
Exactly. And then, like you said, even with relationships, is if something could be fixed, I'd rather fix it. I don't want to hold a grudge because it's like you're just gonna regret it at the end of the day, you know. Especially when you think back and you're like, what was we arguing about? Was it that? Could a conversation have resolved that?
Yeah, it's
You
true.
know? So
It's true.